नहमदुहु नहमदुहु नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिम अला सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन रसूलिहिन नबिय्यिल अमीनिल मकीनिल हनीनिल करीमिर रऊफुर रहीम अम्मा बाद फ़ाऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. Respected brothers and sisters, I want to greet you with the Islamic greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. An endless praise and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given the opportunity to share a few words about a topic which I have selected today, which is the virtues of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So let's talk about the virtues of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. My dear brothers, as you know that Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu is one of the first Khalifa after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he himself associated fully with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the great love and great compassion, and his entire life he become like he spent the entire life being a loyal, being a very steadfast, faithful, trustworthy, and devoted to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And also the other thing is that there is a hidden path between the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the heart of the heart of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. As you can see in this one, from this hadith, one of the hadiths basically, so whatever the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to love with the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu a lot. And similar way, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala also used to love with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So regarding this one, I mentioned there is a secret path is lying between the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam towards to the heart of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, towards Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So regarding this, one of the hadith Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, I have transferred all I have in the heart towards to the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So basically, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has transferred the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the connection towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into the heart of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear brothers, as you can imagine, what kind of connection, what kind of love Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu is going to possess when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam transferred the knowledge, transferred the you can say love towards the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu hearts. And similarly, as you can see, so this basically indicates the closeness, the friendship, and as well as the affinity towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And similarly, if you look into there are a lot of incidents actually happen in the time of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So let's talk about how Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu accepted the Islam. So Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, as you know that he was a big businessman, and he used to live in the same street as Hazrat Minhaj-ul-Quran radiallahu ta'ala anha used to live. So that means Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu knew the status of Hazrat Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha, because she was also a businesswoman. So Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he knew who was Hazrat Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu ta'ala anha. And after the marriage, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to live in the same house of Hazrat Khadija al-Kubra radiallahu ta'ala anha. So through this way, so Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he come to know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he had the friendship with him. And even prior to that also, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he knew about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he became like a close friends. And even he knew, even before declaring the prophethood of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they used to become like a good friends. So when the time came, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam declared the prophethood in front of the people, at that time, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was on the business trip towards the Syria. So one night, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu actually was traveling on the trip. So one night, he took the rest, and while sleeping, he got a dream. So while he was on the business trip, towards the Syria, he got a dream. So what he saw in the dream, he saw the sun and as well as the moon both left their place in the sky, and they came down into the lap of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So when they came in the lap of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, then what Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu he did? He basically he picked them out. He picked them both. Then he embraced them into the chest. Then he put his blanket over them and covered them. So as soon as morning happened, then he as soon as he woke up in the morning, he decided to find out, what is the meaning of this dream. So later on, he went to the like a priest. He wants to consult some of the alim, or maybe who has got the knowledge of the knowledge of the Bible, or you can say that Injil. So then he used to search for a person. Then he found a person who's a very big priest who has got good knowledge. Then someone told me to go to there, and then after that, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he approached the priest and he said, my name is Abu Bakr, I'm from the Makkah, and then I have a dream. So can you explain me what is the meaning of the dream? At that time, the priest said, okay, so you're from which tribe? So you're from Makkah, but you're from which tribe? Then he said, I am from the Banu Hashim. Then he said, what is the meaning of your livelihood? What you do? What is your job? Then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, he mentioned, I'm the businessman. Then the priest actually said, he said, whatever the dream you have got, it is very, very nice dream. So it means that the dream meaning is that basically in a Makkah, a person will come. He will be from the family of the Banu Hashim, and his tribe is from the Quraysh. And a person will come and he will declare that he is the last prophet, and his name is going to be Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he's such a prophet that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loved that prophet is so much. And if it were not him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have not created the earth and as well as sky, neither the moon, now the sun. So basically the priest said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is going to declare the prophethood in the soon, he is going to be so dearer, so nearer, so close to the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as soon as he heard, the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he become so happy. And this information, and the priest said, this information is already there in the Bible, in the Injil. So I bought a faith in him, but I can't able to declare it because of my religion, because of I fear my fellow people, they're going to kill me. So because of this, I can't able to disclose this information openly. So you become like a witness, I bring the iman. So the priest actually, he used to love with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam even before declaring the prophethood. So now Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, when he heard this, so he's very eager to meet with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he came immediately after completing his trip towards Syria. Then after he sold everything, then after he came to Makkah, then immediately he went into the court of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as soon as he came in the court of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he started to smile. Then he said, "Oh Abu Bakr, come, hurry and join the Islam." Then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala mentioned, "Oh Prophet, are you not going to show any miracles to me?" Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Was the dream you saw in the Syria and the meaning which the priest told you, that is not enough to you?" So as soon as he said, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, he smiled it and he said, "Ya Rasulullah, I want to bring the iman. Now I want to do the shahada. So tell me what I have to do." Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, "Read kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Then Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, through this way he bought the iman. Then he embraced the Islam. He become like a close friend to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he become like a first khalifa after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam left this world. So as you can see, my dear brothers and sisters, this information is already mentioned in the Torah and old books, but unfortunately, the people, they misplace, they change these entire things. They are not, it's like a story for us how our religion is so great that the information of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also mentioned in the previous holy books. And second thing is that after this one of the hadith, according to the Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, when you talk about the name of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the real name, what is the real name of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu? Look at here. Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala, she narrates that Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu was actually named Abdullah bin Usman bin Amr bin Umrah. So that means actually the name of the Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu is Abdullah bin Usman. So as you can see, his name is actually Abdullah. But after that, he got a title. He got a title with the name of Atiq. So Allama Ibn al-Jawzi, basically he mentioned, so what is the meaning of the Atiq? So Prophet ﷺ actually once he mentioned, "You are the Allah's freed one from the hellfire." So the narrator says, since then it was called like as a Atiq. So the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu got the title with the name of Atiq. The meaning is that he is free from hellfire. So that means he's a Jannati. So Prophet ﷺ, he freed one from the hellfire. He made a Jannati by the Prophet ﷺ. But nowadays, if you some people, ignorant people, if they if they use the abuse words towards the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, it means that these people are on the wrong track. My dear brothers and sisters, look at Prophet ﷺ mentioning, "You are the one freed from the hellfire." So how can, Na'uz Billah, they can use the bad words towards our first Khalifa, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu? How can they say, Na'uz Billah, he did this wrong, that wrong? These are all these things are basically, they are made things, and they don't have any, so you can see, any connections with the Islam, basically. So now look at after this one. So second thing after this one is that Aisha Siddiqa. Then after this one, let's talk about one of the great virtues of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu is that there are 4 generations are the Saha. I mean, in his family, if you see, there are 4 generations accepted the Islam. They are considered as a Sahaba. It means that, let's say in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let's say father accepted the Islam, and maybe his son is accepted Islam. Okay, so that means the son and as well as father become like a Sahabi. So this is one of the great virtue for them. But if you look into the family of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given big virtue that the 4 generations accepted the Islam, and the 4th generation become like a Sahabiya. They got the maqam of the Sahabiya. So let's say, for example, if you see in that, if you look into the Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, father name is Abu Quhafa. Initially, he didn't accept Islam, but after that, after that, when the Islam become is become spread all over the places, then with the request of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, his father is also accepted Islam. So it means that Abu Quhafa, he's basically become like a Sahabi, and his son Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he's the first Khalifa, and as well as he become like a Sahabi. And his son Abdul Rahman bin Abu Bakr, he is also accepted the Islam. So as you can see, father and his son Abu Bakr and his son Abdul Rahman also accepted Islam. Then after that, Abdul Rahman's son, his name is Abu Atiq Muhammad bin Abdul Rahman, he also accepted the Islam. So my dear brothers and sisters, as you can see, so there are 4 generations accepted the Islam, and they become like they got the maqam of the Sahabiyat. Subhanallah. And not only that thing, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anha's daughter, Aisha Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anha, who is our mother, he is the Ummul Mu'mineen. So he is the he's the mother of all the believers. She is one of the great daughter of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So as you can see, the family is so great. Nowadays, some people, they use some bad words, some abuse words against the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. How can they are going to be like, mu'min? After this one, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, when you talk about the superiority of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, according to superiority, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, she narrates one of the hadith. That what is hadith? Hazrat Umar bin Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, so this narration is coming from second Khalifa, Umar bin al-Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was the most beloved among all the Sahabas to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As you can see, so this is a love, this is a connection between the Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu as well as Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu is saying, the Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu is the most beloved Sahabi among all the Sahabas, among all the companions, and he was more superior among all of us. He was our leader. And he continued talking until he said, the first of the men to accept the Islam was Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. My dear brothers and sisters, as you can see, so Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu basically praising the Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he was the first man who's accepted the Islam. And according to the Muhammad bin Qab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, also he mentioned the first 2 men to believe in Islam, the first 2 men who accepted the Islam was the Sayyida Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha. Okay. And among the men, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And as well as Had Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was the first one among the children. So because his age was around 9 or 10 years. So Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was the first one. He was the first person who declared he accepted the Islam. So, as you know, that Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, actually he was a mature man, he was a businessman. So he basically he didn't the acceptance of the Islam. Basically, he openly declared that he accepted the Islam. But when you talk about Ali al-Murtada radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was a child and he used to hide the Islam. But due to his age, due to fear that his father, Hazrat Abu Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he might harm him. So that's the reason he hidden the Islam. So basically, if you see, Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he is the first one among the children. And at the time of when he was a child, even, he also accepted the Islam. So when you talk about, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, virtues, it was narrated Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala. Again, one more hadith. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, whoever wants to see someone who is free from the hellfire or who is safe, then see the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala. And his family gave him the title of Abdullah bin Usman bin Amir bin Umrah, and also he got the title of the Atiq, as I mentioned. So also one more thing is that he got the title of Siddiq also. This is one of the great things. So why he called Siddiq Abu Bakr Siddiq, we say. So how he got the title of the Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So according to one of the hadith, Hazrat Abu Yahya, he mentioned that Ali al-Murtada radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he said that I take the oath. He says, I swear that Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he got the title of Siddiq, had given the title of the Siddiq from the heavens by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the title of Siddiq to him with the wasila of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And similarly, Hazrat Abu Yahya al-Hakim also, he narrated that he heard Hazrat Ali al-Murtada radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he swear by Allah, Hazrat Abu Bakr, he got the title, had like a Siddiq from the heavens by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now, and after that, as you can see, it was and again there's a big story is behind that, why he got the title of the Siddiq. Let's talk about that story now. It was narrated by Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha, when the Messenger of sallallahu alaihi wasallam did the journey from the Makkah to Al-Aqsa Mosque. He told the people, so when he completed the Miraj journey, he went to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, then after that he went to the heavens, then after that he returned back. So after the return, he gathered all of the people and he mentioned, oh people, come down. I have a message for you. Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that, I went to the Al-Aqsa Mosque and from there, heaven, then I returned in the short period of time, like the incident of the Miraj. So as soon as Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned this message, there were some believers who become like a new Muslim, who joined the Islam recently. So they all said, how it is possible a man to travel from the Makkah towards the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and again from there up heavens, then again to come return with a short period of time. You traveled also and also you came back. How it is possible? So lots of Muslims, the new Muslims, they become like a murtad. They left the Islam. They didn't believe the word of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then after that, few people, they went to they knocked the door of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. They formed a group and said, okay, let's go to Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He is so close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now let's see, we pass this message to him. Let's see what he says. So they came to the house of the Abu Bakr. They knocked the door, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Then after they said, oh Abu Bakr, do you confirm your companion and the Prophet who claims that he traveled the night journey towards the Jerusalem? As soon as he said, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, you guys are lying. You're making stories. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he might have not said. So then all these people, they said, no, Abu Bakr, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was sitting in the mosque, okay, he is saying these words. So as soon as they said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself sitting in the mosque and he is announcing that he has done the event of the Miraj. He traveled all over from the Makkah towards to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and even he returned also. He was saying, so as soon as those kuffars, the unbelievers, as soon as they said, immediately Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, if he had said it, then he had spoken the truth. Then they said, then all these people said, do you confirm his statement that he traveled the night journey towards Jerusalem and returned also before the dawn? Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he replied, yes, I confirm the statement about something even more distant than that. So then people said, what is that? Even more, distant than that. What is that news? Then he said, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, I also confirm the heavenly news of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the morning and evening, which will reveal to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the form of the wahi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the wahi in the morning and as well as evening towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is coming from all of the distant places from the heavens towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I bring the iman. I believe in that message also. So as soon as Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu confirmed this message, that immediately he came to in the court of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whatever you're saying is truth. You travel from Makkah to Al-Aqsa Mosque, and from there you travel to all the heavens. I agree, Ya Rasulullah. Whatever you said is true. So as soon as Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as soon as Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, then he used to say, Sadaqta ya Rasulullah. Whatever you said is true, ya Rasulullah. Whatever you say, true, ya Rasulullah. So as soon as you keep on saying all these things, then what happened? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, oh Abu Bakr, you become like a Siddiq now. You are the one, and even whenever I say anything, you are saying Sadaqta. Because of this thing, I'm going to give the title of Siddiq. Since then, Abu Bakr Siddiq, he become like an Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, named as Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So as you can see, my dear brothers and sisters, this was the Iman. So the high level of the Iman, whatever the Prophet ﷺ used to say, he used to say, Sadaqta ya Rasulullah. So this basically indicates the level of the Iman, the level of the closeness towards the Prophet ﷺ, which our beloved master Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he had with our Prophet. Subhanallah. And similarly, when you talk about with the close companion, if you look into that, I'm going to, when you talk about this one, there's one more thing. When the Prophet ﷺ, when he wants to travel towards from Makkah to Medina, so there's a big story is there. But actually, that I don't have much time to just pass this message. So let's talk about. I'll do one thing. I'm going to quote you one small thing. Then after that, inshallah ta'ala, I will close this lecture because we don't have a lot of time. Otherwise, there's a big story is waiting for that. To complete that one, I need at least I need a lot of time. So let's talk about one of the hadiths. One night, the sky was so clear. Okay, so there were billions and billions of stars were shining. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sitting beside the Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala anha. So look at the maqam of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha asked, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has anyone got enough nekis, enough good deeds as these stars in your ummah? Subhanallah. So basically, Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha asked, Ya Rasulullah, in the sky there are lots of millions and millions of stars are brightening, they're shining. So in your ummah, is there any person exist, who has got these kind of good deeds, these kind of nekis, or you can say the good deeds? Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, yes, there's a person. Then Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha becomes so anxious. She said, Ya Rasulullah, who is the name? What's the name of that person who get these kind of nekis, these kind of, you can say that good deeds in his book? Who is that so lucky person? Then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam smiled and he said, his name was Umar radiallahu ta'ala. So Hazrat Umar has got the same amount of the deeds of these stars. So for a while, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu ta'ala had thought he would have mentioned her father's name, but Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took the name of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. Then after that, Hazrat Siddiq Akbar. So when the name was mentioned of Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu becomes so quiet, and because his father's name is not mentioned. Then after that, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam smiled and he said, your father, one good deed when he was with me in the Gar Sor is the same as all the nekis, all the good deeds of Umar radiallahu ta'ala. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam basically said, a mention Oh Aisha, your father, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he is such a person, he has got so much good deeds that when he spent the one night, he spent 3 nights in the Gare Sor, yeah, in that night, whatever the amal he did it, whatever the nekis he gathered, in those all the good deeds, if you take one good deed, that is equivalent to the one good deed of Umar, that is equivalent to the all the good deeds of the Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The Prophet ﷺ replied. As you can see, my dear brothers and sisters, it means that all the good deeds of the Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu is equivalent to the one good deed of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, which he spent the 3 nights in the Ghar Sur with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this basically indicates the level, the piety, you can say the rank of the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu is so high in the entire ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's praised our first Khalifa Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he given the good and as well as glad tidings to Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha about the status of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Subhanallah. So as you can see, so this is the love towards the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nowadays, if you see, my dear brothers and sisters, a lot of people, if they use some sort of abuse words against the Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Mazallah, they say that Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they did so much bad things about Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, and they make stories and they try to deviate us from the right path. My dear brothers and sisters, the love of the respect of the Sahabas is so important to us. Similar way, the Muhabba of the Ahlul Bayt is also so important to us. So this is the Iman. So our Sheikh Islam, Dr. Muhammad Tarul Qadri, basically he always mentioned love with the Ahlul Bayt and as well as respect the Sahaba. These two things are so important to us. Without these two things, there is no Iman. If a person claims that he love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if a person claims that he love with the Prophet, and if a person, after claiming all these things, and if he has got any books, if he has got any enemy towards to the Sahaba or maybe towards to the Ahlul Bayt, it means that he is not a mu'min. He will be in the hellfire after the death. So because the Ahlul Bayt love is so important, the love of the Sahaba is also so important, the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is so important, and as well as the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also so important to us. So let's I'll make a dua inshallah ta'ala. I'll finish my topic. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى ال محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكن من الخاسرين. I think I got some problem, like a video is going. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah ta'ala, next week I'll fix this issue, then inshallah ta'ala make a dua. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى ال محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا وان لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكن من الخاسرين. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه نور عرشه محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. لا اله الا الله محمد